Hi. So today I'm just going to run through a quick demo of my new app, which is called My Playback, which is designed for running multi-track playbacks for a live band. You've got your backing track, but some of it goes out to front of house, some of it goes to in-ear monitors. Everyone gets their own mix, and it can play back video, it can play sync MIDI files, and do a whole other odds and ends of tricks. So let's talk about the problem. So you've got your band. You're playing live, you're running a backing track. So you've made your backing track, let's put some tracks across, and you know, in your you've got some fantastic backing track. But the audience is hearing this. It's sounding beautiful. But you need to play in time with it. So we need a click. So here's a click. We're going to send this. We need to be able to send this to the drummer's IEMs. So he's getting a click all the way through the song. But we've also got everyone else in the band who doesn't need the whole click, but does need a bit of a hint. So we're going to make another track, which I call guide. And so you see, it's mainly empty. But if I go to it, just at key moments, it's going to give us a count in. So your singer can be working the audience, and then just as they come into the first verse, 1, 2, 3, 4, they get that cue in, bang on. So how do we play that back? So the first thing you're going to need, you are going to need a multi-track audio interface. I'm using the Behringer four output audio interface for this demo. X18 is great. That's got 18 channels, and you can use any 4 of them. Or any other audio interface which has got more than 4 outputs. So let's set this up. So here's my app. And first thing is I'm going to make a new song. And then I want to load. Here, I'm not going to look at audio or video today, video or MIDI today. I'm just going to look at the audio. So here, you can see that we actually support up to 5 tracks: main, aux 1, aux 2, click, and guide. Aux 1 and aux 2, as it gets the auxiliary, you don't need to use them. Main, click, and guide are your key ones that we want to talk about. So from the menu, I can load main. And the main I want to load in is Perfume of the Timeless Main. There we go. So now if I start playing, that's going out to front of house, absolutely as we'd expect. Pause, stop, skip, all of that. Scrolling, handy for rehearsal. My click, and we need to put in here now. I can load it off this menu, but actually I generally just prefer to just double click there, and I can bring in click. And there, equally I can add guide. So now when I press play, what you're hearing is front of house at the minute. And all you're hearing is front of house. But outputs 1 and 2 from my audio interface are playing back this main file. We'll grab some headphones. I've got a click going on in there, which is just coming out on output 3, and the guide is just coming out on output 4. So this is the main bit we need to set up. Main goes to front of house, click goes to an aux channel, guide goes to normal. We can configure all that in settings. If you look in here, I set my audio device. I'm using a UMC4. It's a Behringer device. Main is going to 1 and 2, click is going to 3, guide is going to 4. These are the 2 aux channels, are utility channels. So for example, to say my drummer can't make rehearsal, so I can add in the drums on channel on the aux 1. And I can, my drummer arrives, and I can simply do, I can mute aux 1, and there's no drums. So if you have rehearsals where someone maybe lives a distance away and doesn't make every rehearsal, or if you have gigs, you do gigs. Sometimes you do gigs with a drummer, sometimes you do gigs without drummer, sometimes you might do a gig with a keyboard player, but smaller gigs you might do without the keyboard player. We can simply turn these on instantly. These faders on the left, you shouldn't need them. They're just trims, because in theory, stop that. In theory, you've made your backing track, it's perfect, but sometimes we find you need to just tweak your levels, because you've made one track, it's a little louder, another track you made for the next one, backing track for the next song, it's a little quieter. You can just balance these levels out a little bit. If you want to, I will go through all of the other features in a future video. Hopefully I'll go through a little bit more on how to make backing tracks. In the meantime, I thoroughly recommend Scott Yule's YouTube channel. There's loads of stuff on how to make backing tracks. He uses the same layout because it's the best way to run backing tracks, and hopefully this is the best app to run them in. See you soon.